Hey everybody, welcome to another tutorial of Angular Firebase. So for the course of the last few videos we've managed to create this awesome to-do list item. We can create a to-do item, we can add an image to it, but there is one last piece of the puzzle. Along with uploading image, we needed to add a nice progress bar that gives us extra information of how much of the progress of the image is uploaded. So that's what we are going to see in this video tutorials. By the way, this video does not depend upon the other videos, so you can just follow along this video, or you can see the previous videos as well to just see the journey how we have came so far. So let's get into it. So I am back at the starting point of, so if we now add a new item, what we see is that the image just uploads. There is no progress bar. So what we need to do, hold this loading bar and see how we can add this nice line beneath it. So what I would do, I would call that present loading button that shows this loading indicator, and when we press this button, what it would do, it would reveal the ion loading but won't dismiss it. So then we can experiment with it. In CSS we have pseudo elements like after and befores. What it does, they add a content to a HTML page without adding any kind of markup to the HTML. Their primary use is for just stylistic purpose. Our line beneath this loading bar is a stylish thing, so we can use the pseudo element for that. So first we need to do is to add a class to this Ion Loading. This also accepts a CSS class. Let's see where this class is added. So we can see that this is our loading wrapper, and this Ion Loading has our new class with progress. And the thing is that it exists on the different component level, not inside our home component, but it exists globally. So in order to style it, we need to apply the styles to the global CSS file. This is our global CSS. Here we can apply the style. So what we can do, we need to target the with progress style. We need to assign its parent to be relative. It's just a regular programming of the way we used to do with the position absolutes. Then we need to target the after tag. We need to provide its bit of a content. The content is empty in our case. Its position is absolute. Then we can set it, and give it a width of, let's say, 5%. So let's see what we got. We are manipulating the pseudo element of the wrapper, so we need to move this inside the loading wrapper. And as we can see, we have this small indicator below here. And now we can play with the width of this item, and this will grow. But in order to make this width grow smoother, we can apply transition to it. So let's add transition. Let's also use the Ionic color variable for primary colors and check it out. Let's change width now. Now we can see this is fit is applied very smoothly. So now we have achieved the style that we wanted to achieve. Now let's move to the functionality. There's one more thing with the style. Right now the width property is fixed, but we need to change this dynamically using the JavaScript. On the root property, on the root element, we will change this property, and then it will be inherited here. So the width will automatically change. So most of the overwork will be done on the file upload method. So upload file method. So let's rename this file. We will rename it file and move it to its own variable. This way it will be easy to read and to follow. Next, we don't need we are going to use the upload method of the storage, so which accept let's extract the reference to our variable so we can later reuse it. And now we need to use the upload method of the storage, which accepts first argument as a string, not a reference. Now we have the upload method. We can listen, we can monitor the upload progress using this task variable. Task has a method of percentages. We can subscribe to it. And then here is the logic happens, which we see the blue bar to update. We are updating the custom property on the ion loading, which is inherited by the its pseudo element. So then we see the change. Next, we need to find a way to properly dismiss the loading when the file is properly uploaded. And the task is no more a reference, so we cannot use it to access its the download URL. We need to use the finalize operator of RxJS, and then after that it finalizes, we can import it using the RxJS operator. Now we have the finalize operator. So when the task is finalized, the loading bar dismisses, and then it returns a promise. I think we don't need the file reference here, we can just remove it. The execution now returned back to this method. And now this method does not directly return this image URL. We need to do a little bit of modification here as well. It also become a task as well, task snapshot rather. And in order to access the download URL, we need this bit of code. So now our functionality is implemented. Let's test it. As we can see the progress bar, and voila, there we go. We have now fully functional upload functionality along with the progress bar. We can also edit its progress bar. And that's it for these tutorials. I hope you learned something from it, and thank you for watching.